Welcome, CDL fans, to our June 8th edition of CDL Live, Pure Fan Toy Car Demolition Derby. This place where you want to be is a quest for Crash Bowl 19. Has been underway. The first round complete. We know what the second round looks like. But today, it ain't about the pros at all. It's about the minor leagues of the CDL, the Development League, to be exact. Know what happened in Game 1? Impressive performances by both the Baltimore Colts and the Oklahoma City Strikers. Both teams the higher seed in their series, taking a 1-0 series lead. And of course, a best out of 3 by CDL format. You win Game 1, you get Game 2 at home. And that's exactly the situation that OKC and Baltimore have going on right now today. Of course, they were home in Game 1, getting the home win in Game 1, now looking for the sweep today. Both teams are here in Game 2 as we continue our quest, not just for the Crash Bowl, but for the 2015 Soldiers Cup Finals. And this vase, if you will, which has become a symbol of the D-League. It's a family heirloom, but nonetheless, it's a prize known as Soldiers Cup. And reason being, kind of looks like the old school World War II grenades. Made sense. Anyway, so the quest for the giant grenade continues here today. Syracuse Scorpions, defending Soldiers Cup champions, looking to tie their series up with Oklahoma City. Of course, the Strikers trying to get some revenge from just last year. Yeah, they were known as the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Bulls at the time, but they lost to Syracuse in the Soldiers Cup Finals. So OKC looking for that 2-0 sweep and looking to move on to the Soldiers Cup Finals. Baltimore up 1-0. Eastern Division champions taking on Western Division champions, the Calgary Stallions. Calgary on the road looking to force Game 3 back at home. And of course, Baltimore trying to make it to their first Soldiers Cup Finals. Can do so with a win here today. That being said, let's get you down to that field for the first game on tap here. It's going to be the Syracuse Scorpions and the Oklahoma City Strikers. Welcome, CDL fans, to our June 8th edition of CDL Live, folks, and it's time for some D-League playoff action. Of course, June 10th game day. We know that the pro teams are going to be in action, starting their second round of the playoffs. But today, it's all D-League series and the quest for the Soldiers Cup here in 2015 continuing on. Tim Geiser in the house with us here today. Longtime owner in the CDL, had his rookie season back in 2002. Four-time world champion right here in Tim Geiser. Tim, welcome back.
Thank you.
So
glad to be back, guys.
So owner of the Philadelphia Demons and the Hartford Homies. They'll be facing off in the second round, both of them with successful first-round campaigns. That being said, getting underway to this one. And it's the Oklahoma City Strikers home against the Syracuse Scorpions. OKC, the #1 seed of the Development League. 24 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie in the regular season. Alex Johnson's farm team, both his Puerto Rico Players and Los Angeles Blades. But of course, as good as they were in the regular season, dealt 2 losses in the playoffs in the first round to Montreal. But they got the 1-0 series lead here. One more win will get them back in the Soldiers Cup Finals. As for the Syracuse Scorpions, the defending Soldiers Cup champions, farm team of both the Pittsburgh Destroyers and the Buffalo Warriors, they will be looking to even up this series and force a decisive Game 3 back in Syracuse. So, that being said, time to get down to the smashing. There's only one way we're going to find out who wins, folks. Syracuse Scorpions, Oklahoma City Strikers. Let's go on ahead and get a look at the lineups. And here we go, folks. Leading the way for the Scorpions will be Zebra, and out there to meet them will be Blue Star from the OKC side. And right away, off the bat, Zebra getting the flip. And you will not enjoy this, but it will be over quickly, says Zebra right there as Blue Star goes down. That will bring out Red Spec Type for the OKC Strikers. And getting lockjaw there. And a little bit of a surgical remover there. So they go at it again, and it's Red Spec Type setting them down. Nighty-night, 5-5 the score. And that'll bring out the middleman car for the Syracuse Scorpions. Custom-built model, as a matter of fact. Wheelin' Dealin' out there for Syracuse. And here we go. Wheelin' Dealin' right away, getting the flip on Red Spec Type. One flip away now from tying this series all up at 1 game apiece. And that brings out Jet Threat for the Oklahoma City Strikers. Now, last year they were Wilkes-Barre Scranton. And of course, any fan of that team remembers what happened last year when they played Syracuse in the Soldiers Cup Finals. But the rematch going on here, best of 3 series. And one flip away from even in this series up is Wheelin' Dealin' in the Syracuse Scorpions. But the fight continuing on here. Jet Threat trying to tie this thing up. 10-5 the score right now and make it 10-10. Jet Threat tying it all up here, and that brings out WA-17 for the Syracuse Scorpions. Smash Mouth car, and Jet Threat kind of is too. Both these cars kind of a similar type of style as they go head-to-head here. Both of them staying level to the ground. Not going airborne. That's kind of a dangerous place for either of these cars to be. In that time, a little grazing shot, and it's a good flip. Jet Threat down, 15-10. Syracuse in the lead, and that brings out Indy 5 Jr. for the OKC Strikers. Trying to force overtime. WA-17 trying to get the win to tie up the series. And here we go, and WA-17 is down. Indy 5 Jr. getting it done for the Strikers right there. And now takes on Patrol, the same car that got that game-winning flip in the Soldiers Cup Finals back in overtime. 20-15 was the final of that when they beat Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Now looking to deal the same blow to the team that they became, the OKC Strikers, here in regulation or here in overtime yet again. Failed in game 1, folks, is of course, failed in game 1 to force overtime. Now finds himself in overtime here. So here we go. Indy 5 Jr. and Patrol. And Patrol making contact there and interference. So both cars back to their own side. Here we go at it again. Yeah.
I didn't see it though.
Alright, so go at it again. And they're both down, and folks, we go into double overtime. So in double OT. Going at it again, and both cars, yet again, still up. No interference there. They do switch sides. So we go at it again here, and this time around, and Patrol has tied the series up at 1 game apiece. And folks, Alex Johnson remembers Patrol all too well. Robbed the Soldiers Cup title from him last year, and might just do it again as the Syracuse Scorpions, with Patrol getting the job done in OT. They forced game 3 back in Syracuse. Final score 20-15 in overtime. The Scorpions getting the win over the Oklahoma City Strikers. And coming up next, folks, here on this game day, more D-League playoff action. The Calgary Stallions on the road looking to do the same thing against Baltimore. Of course, the Colts looking to clinch that series 2 games to none and clinch their spot in the Soldiers Cup Finals. That game coming up next, folks. Stay tuned. It's only on CDL Live. And welcome back, folks, to CDL Live, our June 8th edition. Moving along here, D-League playoffs. We already know we are guaranteed 1 decisive game 3. Could we have another? Maybe, perhaps. We're about to find out. The Western Division champions of the D-League, the 3-seeded Calgary Stallions, on the road against the Eastern Division champions of the D-League, the number 2-seeded Baltimore Colts. We both know the story of how they got to this point. Game 1 of this series, Baltimore getting the win in overtime against Calgary, and of course, had to work hard to get here. That 3-2 series win, the Tomahawks gave them all they could handle. But nonetheless, Calgary got here kind of the easy way. Richmond getting the sweep against them. So, but nonetheless, Calgary on the road here trying to even the series up at 1 game apiece, while Baltimore trying to clinch their spot and make their first appearance in the Soldiers Cup Finals ever. So, Baltimore Colts, Calgary Stallions, folks. Let's settle this Game 2 debate right here. Let's get a look at the lineups. Farm team of the New Mexico Monsters and the Washington Patriots, the Calgary Stallions, and the farm team of the Carolina Wildcats and the Milwaukee Mob. That would be the Baltimore Colts. And here we go, folks, leading the way for both sides here. We got Dragon out there for the Calgary Stallions. Starting things off first, and out there to meet him will be Pocket Blaster. A couple of familiar faces Tim might recognize here to start this game off. And they take each other down on the first collision. We got a 5-5 game. And now from the middleman spot, just like they met up in Game 1, here they are in Game 2. Jordan LeBron. Name that for the number 23 right there on his hood. Out there for the Calgary Stallions, and Red 07 out there for the Baltimore Colts. Both these cars looking to get the advantage here, and in Game 1 they tied each other, and they will do so again. And I totally agree with that statement, Timmy. Every time.
Curry, bitch.
Every time.
The Splash Brother.
You see my post on Facebook, brother?
Yeah.
Every time LeBron James loses, an angel gets its wings. And we carry on here.
We sure do. Any more championships the guy's got to whine about until he wins one? How many teams?
2 out of 6, right?
How many teams in the cities is going to shit on before he gets the next one?
Anyways.
Let him come to New York. Nobody wants him.
Whoa. Let's take him on the Buffalo Braves.
Yeah, we'll put him on the Buffalo Sabres. Here we go, baby. Smashing time.
Triple threat out there for the Calgary Stallions, and out there for the Baltimore Colts will be Black 308. And here we go. And not afraid to express ourselves here on CDL Live, folks.
Oh, no.
So join in the fun and
Go on
with And Black 308 going down there. And folks, Calgary has the lead. Triple threat doing his job there. Getting the 15-10 lead for the Stallions. And they are now 1 clip away from tying this series up at 1 game apiece. Batman now out there for the Baltimore Colts.
Used to be a demon.
Yeah, he used to. But now we'll see why he's not. And interference. So Batman's strategy, if any, he's a lightweight defensive car.
He gets flipped.
And he gets the flip right there. Triple threat down. He forces overtime. So the Colts, 1 flip away now from winning this series 2-0. Pontiac out there for the Calgary Stallions. Needing the flip in OT to tie the series and keep Calgary's season alive. And here we go. And in OT, it will be Batman getting the job done. 20-15 will be the final score of this one. And riddle me this, riddle me that. Are you afraid of the big black bat? The Baltimore Colts moving on to the 2015 Soldiers Cup Finals. Don't know quite who they'll face yet. Either going to be Oklahoma City or Syracuse. But the Colts from the number 2 seed.
OKC.
Yeah, OKC. Definitely the favorite to do it. But Baltimore came into the playoffs stale. Really stale. Not looking as good as they started the season. But able to do a little something in the playoffs.
Stale like my beer?
Stale like your beer. Yeah. Like Girl Scouts cookies that I hid in my drawer for 3 years.
Oh, shit.
Remember those?
Yeah, those are sitting for a while.
Anyways, 20-15 the final score in overtime here in Game 2, and the Colts prevailing once again. And they are on to the 2015 Soldiers Cup Finals. But with that being said, though, folks, before we take our leave here on this June 8th edition of CDL Live, we show our respect to the Calgary Stallions and congratulate them on one hell of a season.
be sure to see him back in 2016, no doubt about it, folks, and definitely brought their A game to the field each and every game, and definitely made the game fun to watch. That much is for sure. So for the last time, making their exit to the Bay here in the 2015 season, the Calgary Stallions. Western Division champions of 2015 here in the D-League. And we say our farewells. And that being said, the Colts go into the Soldiers Cup Finals, folks. And that's going to be nice. And that will be on the June 20th game day, folks. Don't know who they'll face yet, but of course, June 10th game day, Oklahoma City and Syracuse. It'll be game 3 then. And just as their game 3 is starting, folks, well, wouldn't you know it, the second round of the CDL playoffs, the race for Crash Bowl 19, entering its second stage. Fire off the afterburners, folks. Time to get real here. So, with that being said, till next time, till that June 10th game day. James Holst here, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League, with my brother Tim Geiser, owner of the Demons, the Homies, and the Tomahawks. CDL legend right here, folks. Let's do it. Say until next time, folks, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and peace. Have a good night.
Word.